do not forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, if you're new to this channel. And if you happen to like this video, do not forget to hit that like button, because I do appreciate it. I believed in you, Deontay Wilder. I believed in you. Many American boxing fans believed in you. I had a lot of high hopes for you as a fighter, right? I had a lot of high hopes, right? And this goes back years ago. Many years. 7 years ago, to be exact. 2012. Right? You were the chosen one. You were the chosen one. Back then, people looked at you and they wanted you to be the next Mike Tyson, the next great American heavyweight. But you turned out to be a fraud. You made a fool out of me as an American boxing fan. Deontay Wilder should seriously be stripped for defamation of character. And he should be stripped of his title for lying to the American boxing fans. Because I remember 6 years ago, 7 years ago, Deontay Wilder, they were asking him about, being a champion one day. And you know what he said? He would say, listen, I plan on fighting Klitschko. I plan on fighting him. I plan on being the next American heavyweight champion of the world. And back then, I was very naive. I admit, I was a naive boxing fan. I was a lot younger. And I was still very biased when it came to Americans and American boxers. I was all pro-American boxers back then. All right. I was a much younger boxing fan, much younger man. And I was very naive. I looked at Deontay and I said, you know what? He's going to be the next great American heavyweight. I mean, I saw him. I saw he was 6'7". I saw he was a big puncher. I saw he was unbeaten. I saw he was knocking out everyone he faced. So I was like, yo, he gonna be the real deal. And I saw him, and I saw his manager / trainer, JD, has said, when they were questioning his resume, JD has said, listen, he's learning in the job, so I gave him a pass because I was naive, right? I said, you know what, he got 30 fights, but I'll give him a pass because I was so looking forward to seeing him become the next American great champion. All right, I didn't grow up watching these great American champions. I wanted him to be that great American champion, right? So he had me fooled. He had a bunch of American boxing fans fooled. He had a bunch of these channels that right now kiss his ass fooled, and he still has them fooled, right? He's gone around. He was brainwashing many American boxing fans back then. Many American boxing fans. He was brainwashing them into thinking that he was going to be the next great American heavyweight champion. Including myself. I was being brainwashed. I was like, yo, he unbeaten? He a puncher? He's 6'7"? He going to knock Klitschko out. I was saying that. I was hoping it. And then the years went by and he never fought Klitschko. He started fighting guys like Nikolai Furfa. He started fighting guys like Sergey Lihovalev. He started fighting these very low quality guys. And I started getting sick of it, right? I started getting sick of it. I was like, all right, he needs to fight somebody at least. I remember there was a time where he was supposed to fight Derek Chisora. I think it was after he fought Ollie Harrison, and they were doing a press conference like he was gonna fight Derek Chisora, and I was so happy about that. I was like, yes, because finally he's gonna fight somebody with a pulse, and I was looking forward to that. And then Deontay Wilder came out and said he ain't fighting Derek Chisora. That's I don't know why they're doing that press conference, because I ain't gonna fight him next. I don't know why they're saying that. And I felt so let down. I was like, come on, man. You gotta fight a dude. This guy has a post. People are criticizing your resume. Fight him. He ends up fighting a guy with 10 losses, a journeyman ×5, named Nikolai Furfa instead. Right? Deontay Wilder has, right now, several boxing fans, American boxing fans, believing that the reason he never got to fight this guy, the reason he never got to fight that guy, the reason he's not a unified champion at the current moment, the reason he's not undisputed champion at the current moment is because fighters, elite heavyweights, were ducking him. Deontay Wilder has convinced several American boxing fans that Vladimir Klitschko never wanted to step in the ring against him. Vladimir Klitschko was afraid to fight him. Deontay Wilder has convinced several American boxing fans that Deontay Wilder is afraid of him. That Anthony Joshua was afraid of him. There's actually people out there that believe that Anthony Joshua is afraid of Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder goes around says he don't want no parts of me. Right? Deontay Wilder has convinced several American boxing fans that he is the real heavyweight champion of the world. That his WBC belt is more, that him being the WBC belt is something more, more basically remarkable and more something that you got to give more compliment to than somebody like Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder has convinced several boxing fans that he did all the hard work. He has convinced several boxing fans that Deontay Wilder becoming a unified champion with less than 25 fights, Deontay Wilder fighting a former unified champion like Vladimir Klitschko, Anthony Joshua fighting Vladimir Klitschko to become a unified champion and having less than 25 fights. He has convinced many of his boxing fans, many of his followers, that he's basically brainwashed them into thinking that Anthony Joshua becoming a unified champion and basically having 3 out of the 4 major belts and basically fighting a former unified all-time great in Vladimir Klitschko, he has convinced most of his followers that those are overrated victories. Those are overrated victories. He fought over the hill Vladimir Klitschko. Him beating Joseph Parker meant nothing. Him beating Charles Martin meant nothing. He has convinced his fans that the only reason Anthony Joshua is a champion, a unified champion, is because A, he got lucky and got the belts from a stripped Tyson Fury, and B, he never fought him because he was avoiding him, and therefore that's the only reason he's a champion, Anthony Joshua. He's brainwashed these people into thinking that. I mean, every time I make a video, a brainwashed Deontay Wilder fan comes to my channel and lets me know how dumb I am and tells me that the only one ducking every Deontay Wilder is every top elite heavyweight. That's crazy to me. And people actually believe that this is the truth, right? And like I said, I was one of those boxing fans before. I was one of those guys that used to think, especially when I first saw Wilder 7 years ago, it's because I had a lot of high hopes for him and I really wanted him to be the next great American. But I snapped out of that. I told you guys this before and I'll tell you guys this again. I snapped out of that Deontay Wilder hype train, Deontay Wilder, brainwashing, whatever you want to call it. I snapped out of that when he defended his belt against Eric Molina, because I was so happy when he fought Bermane Stiverne, because I was like, finally he fought somebody with at least somewhat of a pulse, okay? He was fighting bums before he fought Bermane Stiverne. So when he fought Eric Molina, a guy I never heard of, and he defended his belt against him, that just tore me up, man. It was like, come on, man. I'm so happy. I was so happy that you're fighting this dude, and now you're just fighting. You're going basically backwards. You're taking a step backwards and fighting a guy no one ever heard of. And people trashed him because on top of fighting a guy no one ever heard of in Eric Molina, he gets rocked against him. And that was the end for me. That was the end of the Wilder hype train for me. I was like, fuck that. I was like, I ain't defending no guy that is going back fighting these bums, defending his belts against these bums. We want to see you fight Vladimir Klitschko, man. After that, I stopped being brainwashed by Deontay Wilder. But unfortunately, to this day, there are several boxing fans and even boxing channels who are still brainwashed and still think that and still blame every other heavyweight but Deontay Wilder. They don't blame nobody else but Deontay Wilder. It's his fault. It's Joshua's fault this fight hasn't happened yet. It's Vladimir Klitschko's fault this fight hasn't happened. It's Dillian White's fault this fight isn't happening. Dillian White ain't worthy. Jarrell Miller ain't worthy. Joseph Parker's scared of Deontay Wilder. Everybody's scared of Deontay Wilder. Everybody's scared of Deontay Wilder. Before Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury don't really want Wilder. He afraid. He know he gonna get knocked out. Before Luis Ortiz fought Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, he don't want Deontay Wilder. He talking all that shit, but that's just talk. It's fake. It ain't the truth. Deontay Wilder got him scared. Deontay Wilder has convinced several boxing fans that he is the most feared boxer alive. Yet the only boxer who has people outpricing themselves to face him is Anthony Joshua. So if you think about it, Anthony Joshua is really the most feared heavyweight. And that's all I have to say, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.